Nick's worked really hard on this week, and really hard, but he did forget two things. He forgot to invite Dean.
Well, we both forgot to invite Dean.
It's definitely your job. And he didn't send Robbie the Zoom link.
Yeah.
And at 7:20, we're sitting waiting for Robbie. And where is he? You said he's going to be on time. Text him.
Yeah, my bad.
Robbie, is there a Zoom link?
Yeah, I've had a lot to do today.
This episode of the Whisky and Things podcast was recorded in the presence of a live Zoom audience. Who do they think they are? Oprah?
Yes, this week we celebrate our first anniversary by recording the show with an audience of our Patreon subscribers. Together we'll be tasting the Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whisky, Solera, 15-year-old.
And we have a special guest, singer-songwriter, content creator, and vlogger from the Romesh Ranganation show on the BBC, Mr. Robbie Coles.
Yes, and as always, you can find some more whiskey-based content, images, videos, and all our social media platforms at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And do us a favour and give us a rating on your preferred podcast platform. Really helps us out. Cheers! Thanks for coming.
You're listening to the Whisky and Things podcast with Dave Giles and Nick Kent.
Welcome to episode 53. I am Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent. Welcome.
Happy
Whisky
birthday,
and
Nicholas.
Things. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary, David.
Is it a birthday or an anniversary? What are we calling it? I think we should make that decision now.
Anniversary, mate.
All right, okay. You're the boss.
I've done
You're
it.
the boss. We should have had that conversation beforehand. It wasn't very dramatic at all, was it?
I can have more in-depth conversation about it if you want. But,
I mean, what a year. What a year. Think of all the places we've been able to go to. It's been great.
Park Royal. Yeah. Fantastic.
That's great, isn't it? The one place we've actually gone is an industrial estate a mile away from where I live. But what a day out it was.
Beautiful part of the world. Beautiful part of the world.
Beautiful part of the world.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Yeah, we started at the beginning of the first lockdown and we're still in the same situation. But would the show be the show it is if we weren't in lockdown, Dave? What do you reckon?
That's actually a really good point. I don't know. Probably it can't have been. It would have been different.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Evolved differently.
God, we would have been so busy, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if we'd actually had learnt more about whiskey.
What?
Or less.
Going to the distilleries.
Or
instead of actually just having to read up on it.
Well, no, because if we'd been busier, you've just sat around, literally, what have you done this year? You sat around, you set up your own bar, you've now got whiskey shelves, that's been your life. Look, and it's amazing.
Some party mode tonight. See it changes colours tonight. Got the party going, the rave.
Yes. But, I just don't think we would have, had anywhere near, or you wouldn't have had anywhere near the time.
No.
You went to school and everything.
I did go to school. That's the thing. The guests we've had on the show from distilleries and stuff, would they have had the time to come on our show if they'd been doing their normal lives?
Absolutely.
We've taken advantage of the situation. Sorry, everyone.
Anyway, shall we crack on, Nick? Shall we get on with our guest?
Yeah, why not?
Just get the things over with.
Look at that. How about that for an introduction, Robbie?
Just get him over with. Yeah.
Let's get him over with. Well, welcome back, Mr. Robbie Coles.
Thank you.
What episode? It was episode 11, was it, Nick?
It was 11. Yeah, all the way back there, yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
Talisker 10-year-old.
I can't believe it was only episode 11.
I know.
Yeah, God. That's the day I burnt my throat drinking that whiskey. Yeah, that was...
The High
Stuff
Commissioner.
like that you don't forget, yeah. Kind of like losing your virginity in a way, like when I had that whiskey, that's what it was like. Because I'm not pro-whiskey person, drinker.
You're not pro, but you approve of it, you're just not pro.
I approve of it, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right, yeah. I was going to say, just cut you off if that was the case.
So how you been there, Robbie?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. I'm quite optimistic about how things are looking at the moment with this whole lockdown stuff ending. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of getting ready to potentially have normal back, I suppose, in a way.
He's bringing normal back.
Hey. Yeah, so just kind of mentally getting ready for that. Like, I'm so used to my bedroom now and my four walls. I'm just like a bit nervous, I suppose, to go back to chatting and socialising with people and shaking hands and hugging and all the rest, if you know what I mean.
Going to gigs. I want to go to a Robbie Coles gig. Going to
gigs. That is exactly what we're all going to do.
Sorry, I'm currently distracted by Tara's cat.
I think I missed it.
we got mooned by a cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, not the tea towel holder.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was a tea towel holder.
That is amazing. So Robbie, I see your hair's grown back all right though.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, unfortunately it's still ginger, but it's I can work on that. Cheers, Mum.
But you are on a new season of Ranganation with Romesh. How's that going? How's that playing out?
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, it's really good. We are 5 episodes in. We got 1 more to film, and then that's the whole season done. But yeah, it's going really well. It's really good fun. It's just amazing. It's such a cool opportunity to be on that. And 3rd series in. So yeah, it's all just crazy, really. Like, I'm just filming a TV show in my bedroom in a way, which is just insane to think about. But yeah, loving it. So it's really good fun.
Nice. You got to take your trousers off a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, got the legs out.
Yeah,
that's all right. They asked for it, and I was like, "Hey, look, I'll get vloggers' legs out. Not a problem." And I had matching socks on. So to the diehard fans of the show, I had a purple hoodie on.
Your pants?
Not pants, no. Okay. And I had purple socks on. So I thought that was my little. So 10 points to you if you notice that. Or you're too busy looking at my legs.
Robbie, are you noticing when people are on these kind of shows, are you getting an influx of people on your social medias that are hunting out vlogger, or is that not really happening?
It's not loads, but there is a little bit of people coming over, whatever, and saying some stuff. But yeah, no, not too much. Not as much as I thought, but I get lots of like lovely comments and stuff, which is nice. Very positive, which is always a plus. So
and within that as well, is it because you do stuff on TikTok, don't you?
I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. I get really into it and then I stop for ages because I just can't be bothered, and it's a lot of effort for 20 views, but then I get back into it. So at the moment I'm kind of really into it, so I'm doing all these like little sketches and skits, and some get like a good amount of views, and then some don't, and it's hard. It's a battle, really. I really enjoy doing it. So, but yeah, I'm kind of on TikTok at the moment. Who isn't nowadays? It seems the place to be.
Us.
Is that the kind of stuff? Yeah, you're right, Nick. Sorry, absolutely. I have no interest in being on TikTok, but
yeah, but you had no interest in being on Discord or anything a few weeks ago either.
Who, me? No, yeah, all right. Point taken. But I've got seriously. There is enough going on in the world. You're right. I was stubborn about Discord, but we're there now, and I'm being stubborn about TikTok. But I don't get it. Anytime someone sends me a TikTok clip, I'm like, I don't find this funny. Am I supposed to find this funny? Apart, Robbie, the stuff you're doing on I see it on Instagram. And
that's what I see as stuff.
It's funny on there, but if it had a TikTok logo on, I don't know why. I just don't find it funny anymore.
Not watching it.
But there's a bit more discovery element to that, isn't there? And do you find that every now and then someone goes, "Oh, aren't you vlogger from Ranganation?" Or do you not get that?
Yeah, I get it a little bit actually. Yeah, sometimes one of my videos, someone's like, are you the vlogger? But now you're like singing in a Shrek mask shirtless, and I'm like, yeah, that is me. Unfortunately, I am doing that. That's what I do on the weekends, basically. But yeah, a little bit. I mean, the algorithm on TikTok is just mental. It's like you can kind of become a star overnight if you get lucky with it. It's not much of a graft, but it also is at the same time. It's a strange place, but it's a good one to be on. But
hey, Robbie, did I ever tell you about the band I'm going to form? So when I'm in Abbey Road, you're like Dave Giles and the whatever.
Yeah.
My band is going to be called the Al Gore Rhythm and Blues Band.
The Al
Gore Rhythm and Blues Band. Yeah, Al Gore's Rhythm and Blues Band. Yeah.
Okay.
The algorithm. No.
I'm missing something here, aren't I?
I've missed something as well.
Algorithm. Al Gore.
Ah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh my god. Oh
You know
my
what?
god.
You should put that on
You've got to
TikTok.
say it quicker.
I said
Algorithm.
it quick.
No, you didn't. You were like
This will
Al
kick up.
Gore rhythm and blues band.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those ones that works better in text form. That goes down well on Twitter. I promise you.
That was good. Fair play. That was really good.
Unbelievable.
It was good. It was good.
Thanks. Say it
faster.
appreciate the
Say it
sympathy.
fast next time. Say it
You should
fast.
join the Ranganation.
Say it fast next time.
Say it fast. All right. Okay. Fine. Tony Michael says he gets it, so that's all right. Danny thinks that part of the chat's going to get cut from the final.
No, I'll just overdub it where I laugh.
Oh right.
I'll insert a laugh there, like I do
do
with
a
your
laugh,
voice
quick?
sometimes. You know, if I've told a great gag and Dave doesn't laugh, I just find a laugh from somewhere else and put it in. Make myself sound funnier because I need it.
That's amazing!
You're going to regret sending me that file, aren't you?
I forgot I put them in there. Oh wow!
So yeah, Robbie, have you got anything else you want to talk about? Have you got any new? Last time we talked to you about the idea of you doing some more music. Is that happening or not?
Yeah. So I haven't really told anyone this, but I'm doing.
Not even Romesh.
No, not even Romesh. Yeah.
best bud.
I'm going to do a big rebrand. It's been coming for a long time, and because of obviously the pandemic and stuff, it's been a bit of a nightmare to do it all. But I've got the post in my Instagram drafts, and it's been there for about 4 months now, and I'm so close to being like, here's my new stuff, this is what's happening, come with me in this new direction. But I'm just waiting to get my song back, and it's like almost done, and it's just, these things take a long time, and I don't want to rush it too much because it's a big thing, you know.
Yeah,
I
remember
give it
my
away
first
and
time.
stuff, but exactly, see what I mean? So hopefully it'll be a hole in one. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm also really nervous, actually. It's kind of looking forward to it. So yeah.
We're looking
Excellent.
forward to it too. Yeah, stop laughing, Dave. He just said
we-
he's nervous about it and you're laughing. Come on.
I was laughing at the hole in one joke. That was amazing. Yeah, I was listening to what he said, Nick, as opposed to you. What are you not finding anything funny today, Nick?
Huh?
That's a second joke you just not laughed at. You're being serious about overdubbing all your laughs, aren't you?
Yeah.
The Muttley laugh.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Well, I used to do it so it didn't clip on the microphone because it's always close. If I did a loud laugh, it would be really loud and clip. So I used to do the Muttley laugh instead. Great story. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I thought we were hearing it again. Oh,
I'll just
disappointing.
I'll re-loop it. Yeah.
Actually, when you come to editing the episode, what I want there, Nick, is a rewind sound. You know, like when someone turns the vinyl back.
Yeah, I know the one.
The Muckley laugh.
That's amazing!
Great story. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Let's move on. What you got in your hand there, Danny Gruff?
I'm on the beer now. It's safer. I'm a bit hungover, so it's mellowing back.
Why is that? I'm a bit hungover as well, Danny. Good lord.
Oh, no wonder Robbie didn't get sent the link. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Had a
The
bubble
truth
party last
emerges.
night. Had a bubble party. And actually, when I picked up Danny from his house, I was like, I can't get too drunk tonight because I've got the show to do tomorrow. And he's like, well, don't worry about it. Like, no, people are coming. He's like, I'm one of the people who are coming and I don't care. I'll get smashed. So,
Yeah. We're
still
bubbles,
delivered.
by the way, just before anyone starts judging. We're bubbles.
I'm judging.
yeah, it's a bubble.
Yeah, they had the beer pong. They had everything going on. I don't get an invite, but
That's one of the good things about this lockdown. I haven't seen you for ages. Can't surprise me.
I actually think it's the longest you and I have gone without seeing each other since we met 11 years ago.
Look how happy I look.
You do look younger.
Whiskey
Robbie, thanks for joining us. The main reason I wanted to get you back on this week is because last time I felt like we missed a trick not drinking the same whiskey as you and doing a proper tasting with you, because your insight was just fantastic. And I'm really excited about doing this. So we have sent you, as long as with everyone else who's in here, I think, a sample of the whiskey we're going to be tasting. So, Nick, shall we get onto the whiskey?
Yeah.
Whiskey bots, roll out.
I've lost my script. Where am I? Oh yeah, that's my line. So, Nicholas.
Yeah, it's different every week, that bit. Yeah.
This week's whiskey. So I get one line. That's the only line I've got in the whole script, and I forgot it.
Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whiskey. The Solera 15-year. It's a 40% ABV. Yes, and we all have these little bottles today. Have you tried this before, Dave?
Yeah, I have. Your brother sent me a message the other day. He thinks you're sounding more and more like Ted Kravitz.
Yeah, I hear it as well. I know.
Well, you can hear yourself sounding like Ted Kravitz.
I hear Ted Kravitz in my diction sometimes.
How modest of you.
No, I'm not saying he's just such a great, presenter. I just really see myself in him.
Excellent. Right, so you've just set yourself up now, because now you've got this nice long bit.
A bit of distillery background. Some people might want to learn about the Glenfiddich.
Yeah, so let's hear you deliver this wonderful bit of oral history for the Glenfiddich.
Yeah. Well, Glenfiddich, it's a glen, so it's a valley, right?
It's a valley.
So it's a valley. So this is Gaelic for...
What does a fiddick mean?
Deer. Yes.
So Valley of the Deer.
Valley of the Deer. Yes, this is a Speyside. One of the originals up there. One of the original kind of illicit stills, I think. I might be wrong with that, so I might cut that bit out. Yes, distillery background. The Glenfiddich distillery was founded in 1896 by William Grant. We've heard that name before. In Dufftown, Scotland, in the glen of the River Fiddick. Funny that. And the whiskey first ran from its stills on Christmas Day, 1887, after building it with his 9 children.
How many?
Busy boy.
Busy man. Very busy man. Yeah. We talked a bit about Dufftown back in episode 31, and William Grant, actually, when we sampled the Belvini 14-year-old, or the Balvenie, or the Belvini. Do you remember that? That's a distillery he also built.
All right, go on. Did we ever get to the bottom of that?
Of what?
How you pronounce Balvenie?
Balvenie. Yeah, that.
All right, okay. It's all right then.
Balvenie? Oh, whatever. No, we're not going down there again. But anyway, he also built that one. I found a mistake. I'm really sorry. We try and be as accurate as possible with our facts. Well, I actually found a mistake in episode 31. I said that the whiskey production started in Balvenie on May 1st, 1883. But that was a mistake, because he didn't build it until 1892. So I apologise, everyone, for that one.
That's quite a big mistake.
That's quite a big one, that.
It's not like... That's a whole generation of years.
No, not really. What? 10 years. 1883. But he didn't build it until 1892. It's all right. I'm just about 9 years too early. Anyway, back to the lovely Glenfiddich. It's the world's best-selling single malt. It's sold in 180 countries and accounts for 35% of single malt sales around the globe.
Across the whole range?
Yeah. Right. In terms of single malts. Johnny Walker's the biggest in Scotch, and Grant's is number 3, which is the same company as this. Jack Daniel's is the biggest selling overall in terms of whiskey. But yeah, this is the biggest selling single malt. And it's basically because over the years they've just been amazing at marketing, and they've taken some risks, etc. For example, in 1909, William Grant's son-in-law, Charles Gordon, visited the Far East way back in 1909. It's crazy. And secured customers in that region. So that's when they first kind of became a multinational kind of company, as it were. In the 1920s, with prohibition in force in the US, Glenfiddich was one of a very small number of distilleries to increase production instead of ceasing it, or like doing less because of prohibition. This put them in a strong position to meet the sudden rise in demand of fine-aged whiskies when prohibition was lifted. So that's another thing. They just seem to be just nailing it all the way through.
Bit of luck there, isn't there? Just a bit element of luck.
Yeah, indeed. And in the 1960s and 70s, when other distilleries weren't doing so well and being bought up or went out of business, in order to survive, William Grant and Sons expanded their production of whiskey again and introduced advertising campaigns. And they were the first distillery to open a visitor's centre in 1969. Also in that era, they took the decision to start marketing single malt as a premium brand in its own right, apparently, effectively creating the modern single malt whiskey category with the introduction of the Glenfiddich single malt in 1963. Up to then, I think they were just bottling it as Grants or, letting other people blend with it, etc. Yes. Other things as well, like they were the first of the distilleries to package bottles in tubes and with gift tins, and they also were one of the first to take advantage of the duty-free market.
Good work, Ted.
For spirits. There you go. William Grant himself died in 1923, but Grants and Sons is currently owned and managed by the 5th generation of William Grant's descendants. So it's still a family business. So yeah, they market it as a, family-owned, business for whatever. But it's a massive company now. Grants and Sons owns other brands such as Balvenie. Tullamore Dew is one of them. Grants, obviously. Monkey Shoulder, that's one of theirs. So probably some Glenfiddich in there. So that's a blended malt. But they also own Sailor Jerry, Drambuie, Hendrick's Gin, and a bunch of other things as well. It's massive, this place. They have 11 wash stills and 20 spirit stills. So they're the Dons, really, which is why we kind of thought it'd be a nice one for our year anniversary. I can't believe we haven't done it before, to be honest. So there we go. Yeah, we're doing the 15-year-old Solera edition today.
Yeah, we wanted to go above the 12-year-old, the standard one. We thought we'd give you something a bit special, guys, because we're nice like that.
It ended up being a bit of a ball ache.
We should have worked backwards.
We should have worked backwards from the other countries back to England, because we just got everyone in England's first, boom, and then we had to find it elsewhere on the globe, which was quite hard.
It turns out every other Glenfiddich is really easy to get. The 12-year-old, the 18 are all really easy to get anywhere else in the world. The 15 is an absolute ball ache. Oh my God.
Yes.
3 of us, me, Nick and Rish. Nick, Rish and I were on a Zoom call for an hour and a half trying to find a single place that sold Glenfiddich 15 in America.
Yeah.
We did, but they didn't. None of them did the sample bottles. They only did full bottles, and they were like $90. And we're like, yeah. So, Robbie, have you ever had Glenfiddich before?
I haven't, no. And after that description and the history of it all, I can't wait to put it in my mouth. Very excited.
How has your whiskey game been since we last had you on? Have you been trying other stuff since
you
had
know
the
what?
High Commissioner?
I actually had a really nice... I'm trying to find it, but I took a photo to send it to you guys a couple of weeks ago, and I had a really nice... I think it's like a Japanese whiskey. It was like a massive bottle. It was really nice, but I can't seem to find it. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is, but I did take a photo. So that's a bit of a boring story. So I'm going to answer that question again. Yeah. I'm going to say no. Because, that's just an easier...
Oh, the attention retentionometer, Dave.
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm sorry,
That's outrageous. 1 year on, it's back. We haven't had... all year long.
I don't control it. I don't control it.
Wow.
The attention retentionometer. As riveting as I thought that story was, Robbie, I'm
so sorry.
People are turning off.
He did all that boring history stuff and he got away with it. And you come in, try and tell one story, and that goes off. I didn't even know you had it switched on, Nick. I didn't think we could afford it anymore.
No, I've renewed this subscription.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you renewed? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
1 year on, is it? There it is. Fair enough.
Exactly.
Darren decided to have a pop at us earlier about our pronunciation of Balvenie.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Balvenie.
Balvenie.
He's actually a Scottish person, so apparently we need to listen to him.
Yeah, we have to trust him then, don't we?
Yeah.
Balvenie, is that what it is?
It's a Balvenie, sure.
Balvenie.
Balvenie. Said the word Jiminy Jillikers so many times, it's lost all meaning. It's one of those.
You're listening to Whisky and Things.
Oh, obviously, he's 15 years old, Nick, and 40% ABV.
Yeah.
What makes this different from other single malts in the Glenfiddich range? Anything?
Yeah, it's pretty special, this one. They do something a bit different. A few other people do it, but this is the main one that's kind of known for it. The Solera. Other things to do with this is single malt, obviously, 100% malted barley, probably chill filtered, and there is colouring in this, but whatever. It's just a thing they do. So, the Solera business, okay?
I love a Solero. Robbie, do you like Soleros?
Love Soleros.
What's your favourite one?
The white chocolate one.
The white? What? Solero?
So is that? Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
You're thinking
Solero.
of
I think you're thinking of a Magnum.
Magnums.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah. I haven't even had whiskey yet, and I'm like, "Ugh." Solero. Wait, what's a Solero then?
Solero's
Hold
got
on.
ice cream in the middle.
Yeah, it's got like a
like
fruity...
it's mango usually on around the outside.
Oh, the mango one, the orange one.
Puree.
Yeah.
That one's quite nice. Yeah, I do like that one.
I think there's a purple one as well. I can't remember. Purple
What flavours
flavour.
are there? I swear I've only seen mango.
Purple's a fruit.
Purple flavour. There's red flavour.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a blue flavour one.
No, I think I've only had the orange one.
I didn't know you'd get a whiskey one though, Nick.
No, well, that's the thing. This is chill filtered through a vat of Wall Soleros. So that's what happens with this one.
And that's where they got the name from. Now it all makes sense.
Now it all makes sense. No. Right, Solera is a type of kind of finishing, right? Inspired by the sherry bodegas in Spain and Portugal. They use a large oak tun to marry together 15-year-old whiskies, which are matured in different barrels, right?
Did you say tongue? Oak tongue?
Tun. T-U-N.
Oh, tongue. I thought you said tongue. I was like, I've never seen a wooden tongue before.
Pirates used to have them, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. I
don't know. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so this is kind of made up whiskies. They've used 3 casks in this, basically. They use ex-bourbon for 15 years, and then that spirit is then transferred into virgin oak casks for another 3 to 6 months. But then in another process, they're aging in European oak, ex-sherry casks for 15 years, right? So then you've got 2 barrels, essentially. So then they empty those into this massive Solera vat, okay? And it marries in there for another few months, I think. It's like a big 9,240 gallon vat, and it sits in there for like 4 to 6 months or something like that. But the thing is about it, though, they never empty this vat. So when they first filled it, it was in there. They took half out, and that's what they then bottle for that addition. Then they fill it up again with another batch of those 2 different barrels. And then that marries together. And then they take, when that's ready, they take another 50% out. So it's never less than half full at any one point. And this vat has been at least half full since 1998.
So it's essentially the biggest infinity bottle of all time.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so it's just that. It just keeps, just this system that keeps going and going. They do it in a big vat. Some other distilleries do it where they actually connect the barrels together, which is quite interesting. So they've got this rack system on the wall, and they fill the top ones, and then when they empty ones at the bottom, they just open some valves, and then it leaks through again, and then all ages for another kind of cycle, or however they want to do it. So the benefits of it, it brings consistency and uniform to it, Right. If there's any kind of characteristics that some of the barrels might have put in there, it kind of irons those out, so everything is pretty much the same. And it adds I don't know, sure, add some flavour or something, But yeah.
Are they like wooden? This might be like a really silly question, but are they
silly
wooden
questions?
Are they wooden barrels?
Yes.
Oh, it's not like a massive tin, or like when you go to like a brewery or something. I know that's obviously completely different, but that must make a big difference to the taste. If it's like
60 to 80% of its flavour comes from the barrel, and that's where it gets its colour from as well.
Christ.
Yeah, it's clear when it goes in before it's aged for however long. And that's called new make when it goes in. And you can drink that and have that as well. Dave and I had some recently.
New make.
And it tastes completely different.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's a complete different thing. But
it's very strong.
Yeah, Robbie, the reason they add colouring into something like this is because this is a worldwide brand where they make loads and loads of different bottles of it.
Yeah.
They add colouring to make sure it's consistent from one bottle to the next, so that if you're someone who always wants to go for that bottle, it always looks the same. So you'll find a lot of the really big whiskies will probably add colouring. Sometimes it adds there might be a bit of a caramel flavour to the
Oh, okay, yeah.
To that.
It's a caramel colouring. It's not meant to flavour it. The E150 it is.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, that.
Nick, what do you think on the colour? I think that's quite dark amber.
Yeah, maybe. I don't...
Quite golden. I mean, put it up against next to your hair, Robbie.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. It's kind of similar to my carpets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's
And the drapes, yeah.
And the drapes, yes, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, on the nose.
Oh, he's getting his nose to it now.
Wow.
Have a little sniff, everyone. How are we doing?
Right, those of you joining us, get your noses in there. Robbie, what you're, before Nick and I taint your thought process, what are you smelling?
It smells quite sweet.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Say what you see, Robbie. Say what you see.
Yeah. It's sweet. It's a bit of a... Is it slightly woody? I mean, that's quite common, isn't it, for whiskey to smell like
people
it's
can
come from...
smell oaky tones and all that. It's been in oak for 15 years, so it's going to pick up a bit of that.
Yeah, sweet, bit of wood.
Yeah, I was going to say wood. I'm getting some walnuts, Nick. You getting walnuts?
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Nearly dropped mine. Be careful, Dave.
Be careful. Be careful. Yeah, it's kind of sweet. There's kind of dark fruits in there. Oh, yeah, some blackcurrant.
That's quite hard to smell it.
Blackcurrant's a good shout, Nick. Yeah, those dark fruits, they're definitely in there. I'm getting a hint of marzipan as well. A hint of marzipan.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
You getting that, Nick? Robbie? Does it remind you of a fruit cake? Let me see if it reminds you of that. Christmas cake. You ever had a Christmas cake?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's like a Madeira cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Christmas cake? That's not, is it? That's a fruit cake.
It's a fruit cake. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, Jeff Whisky. We'll come back to that later. That's a great one. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that, but Jeff has just dropped a bombshell in the chat.
Classic Jeff.
Do you know what? I need to share that now, but we will bring that up with you later, Jeff. Vimto, which would go with the blackcurrant thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like undiluted Ribena.
Yes, I was going to say that earlier. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's why when you said blackcurrant, that was what I was thinking. I was going to bring squash up again, but I was like, no, I did that a couple of weeks ago. Don't bring that up again.
Yeah. It's good nose. It's good nose.
It's really good.
Oh.
It is I, the Whiskey God.
Hang on, hello, look who it is.
Welcome back to our patrons who joined us back in episode 25, and a God-sized welcome to our new friends. Thank you for supporting and inspiring these two Neanderthals over the last 12 months. Even though I'm a god, there's only so much I can do when the standard started so low.
That's unbelievable. Did you invite him, though?
I don't think I did. Did you?
I forgot. I didn't invite him. It wasn't me. That's odd. How did you get on, Whiskey God?
How'd you get in the...
My face is my laminate.
That's quite funny, seeing as no one knows what you actually look like.
Yeah, it is weird. Congrats on a year of the podcast, Whiskey God.
Thank you, boys. But let's face it, you wouldn't have lasted but a month if it weren't for me injecting some star quality into the production. So, you're welcome.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Unbelievable. He barges in here. He forgets that we had Jeff Whisky on.
Takes all the credit.
He takes all the credit.
Ladies and gentlemen, forget what you think you've learnt from these two posers. Sit back and listen to the master.
Oi, Whiskey God. Stop giving my boys lip. And hurry up with these tasting notes.
I admire your fire, Mr. Coles. A true redhead, it seems. As you asked so confidently, I have another party to get to anyway. Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whiskey. The Solera 15-year-old. Tasting notes. On the palate, the medium body is the first thing to notice. Cinnamon raisins intermixing with sherry, but brightly. Dark fruit notes abound. There is also a slight bite of ginger. Vanilla bean tends to blanket the experience. On the finish, the body seems to bloom and gain momentum right before a medium-length fade-out begins. The vanilla tends to warm up into notes of the sherry sweetness as the final note goodbye. Overall, with the original Glenfiddich 15 already offering a rich, deeply fruity, and punchy experience, the Solera vat treatment offers an interestingly welcome detour. If fans of the original 15-year-old wouldn't mind a sweetness taking over the tart, a creaminess taking over the butterscotch, and a more subtle body, then I would give a dram of Glenfiddich Solera 15 a proper go. Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whiskey, the Solera 15-year-old. Enjoy the rest of your party. Ta-ta.
Wow, there we go. Thanks, Whiskey God. Thank you very much for that. Enjoy your party wherever you've gone.
Didn't even mention Vimto.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Cheers for setting that one up, Rich. I appreciate it.
Wouldn't it, for him?
Yeah.
Probably. Anyway.
That was some interesting stuff there. It was interesting reading people's notes. Some of our patrons are putting their own notes in the chat whilst that was going on, even beforehand. And a few people said things. We'll ask them later, but they said things which then came up. The one thing that really struck out to me is, because it hit my taste buds at the same time he said it, was the ginger.
Yeah, me too.
The hit of ginger as it hit the tongue, or towards the end of the experience. It's not overpowering, but it's definitely there. So again, perfect for Robbie's being on for this one.
Yeah, you know what? It was really nice having like the Whiskey God in my ear while having a sip.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was like euphorical, if that's a word.
He's a mystical being, mate.
As he was listing off all the tastes now, I was like, oh my days, it is that. Like he's in my head. He's on my tongue, the Whiskey God. Yeah, it's really nice. And what a difference compared to what I had last time.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like,
I wonder what is in the High Commissioner.
Jesus, that literally took off my throat was just throbbing with fire. My chest is quite warm now, like right in the middle, but it's a nice warm. It's like a nice hug.
It's comforting.
Yeah, it's comforting, yeah. It's a nice one. It's helping a lot. But the other one I had, the High Commissioner. God.
Yeah. This is quite light on the tongue. It hasn't got like a creamy finish or creamy mouthfeel for me. It's kind of fresh.
And it's not harsh. I don't know, what I've had whiskey-wise has been probably because they've been not great, but quite harsh. I'm not sure if you can get nice, harsh whiskey. I'm not sure if people are into that, maybe. Like an extra strong coffee, maybe. I don't know. But this went down like a water slide. It just went straight through.
Well, this is 40%, so if you want more of a kick, Robbie, you can go for something a bit higher. You know, you can go up to your 50% if you want. You can get a cask strength.
And would that be a bit more harsh on the...
It depends.
The tasting, or...
It'll have a lot of flavour, but again, it depends how old it is and how it's matured, and they're all different. Just because it's stronger doesn't mean it's got more flavour, or it feels like there's more alcohol in it, you know.
So it depends on how long it's been in the barrels as well. The fact this has been in the barrels for 15 years will make it, the word will be a bit more smoother. It will have taken some of the edges off. A younger whiskey will be a bit more ethanol-y.
Pokey.
Yeah, pokey. I like that.
Yeah. This is really pleasant to drink, isn't it? It's just really pleasant. It doesn't blow me away though, Nick.
No, I know what you mean.
How much is this?
We're talking £47.95 on the Whisky Exchange. It's pushing to a treat, you know. It's one you put in your basket if it's on offer. But it's not different enough for me to other... Well, it's a Speyside Scotch. It's just a really good example of one. So, yeah, it's really drinkable.
Do you know I'm getting coconut water on the end now? Now, the more I'm drinking it, I'm getting coconut water. Not coconut flavouring, but coconut water. You know how coconut water doesn't taste anything like coconut?
Yeah.
It's got that texture to it as well, the slightly thicker texture to it.
Kind of a long burn.
Yeah, I am enjoying this. It's just, I'm not sure if it's a 50 quid bottle of whiskey. Apparently it's currently £35 on Amazon, according to Jeff Whisky.
Oh, look at that.
That's not bad. Is that for a big bottle?
Yeah.
70.
Yeah, he's nodding his head.
70.
And in Oregon, it's currently on sale at $66, and the exchange rate's about $138 at the moment. So that's getting it down to about 40.
That's all right. That'd be the 750 mil as well. Get a bit more.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed with it. I think it's a nice whiskey. My experience with Glenfiddich on the whole is, I think it is aimed at people who are just starting out with single malts, because I think they are drinkable and it opens you up to the flavours of single malts without necessarily being too harsh in any one way or the other. It's like, if it's not peaty, it's not smoky.
It's not offensive.
It's not
safe.
Exactly. It's safe. That's exactly what we're looking at. That's exactly, like, you could sit here and quite easily do.
That's why they sell so much.
You could quite easily drink a bottle of this and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good one to perhaps introduce. Like, Robbie's sitting here going, "This is nice," because it's so much nicer than what he had before, like the cheap blends. But because it's got brand name recognition, because it's everywhere, I think that makes sense for people to enjoy it. Does that make sense? I think it's a good.
Oh yeah,
it can almost be a gateway just because of the recognition. But my worry is, because it is everywhere and people see it as one of the bigger brands, is that people may stop here as well. They may be like, "Oh, go Glenfiddich. I now know what whiskey tastes like."
Yeah, I've definitely got that. I now feel like I know everything about whiskey.
Yeah, because you've had a Glenfiddich 15,
and the whiskey god has been in your head. And he's planted it in there.
He's been a lot of places, but yeah, in my head, yeah.
I'm getting a bit of citrus right at the end now. I haven't had a sip in a while. I'm getting, I feel like I had a Satsuma 10 minutes ago. that I've got that sensation in my mouth right now.
Right.
Don't know if anyone else is getting that. Nick, what I have some Speyside Czechosky.
Oh, all right, we'll have a little taste of this.
Satsuma Sensation. Danny said that's a great band name. I'm going to try it with a bit of chocolate. That now tastes like a Bounty, dark chocolate Bounty. I suddenly feel like there's a load of coconut there, which I wasn't necessarily feeling beforehand. I know I said coconut water. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like it. It's a good, safe option as well. So there we go. Glenfiddich 15 Solera. Interesting bottling. It's tasty, and I would have this if I saw it in a bar.
And I think there would be plenty of bars you go to that would only have a couple of Glenfiddichs and maybe one other Scotch. Maybe not so much anymore, because I think single malt, like the whiskey market's growing. But in the old days, that would definitely been true, wouldn't it? You would have gone into a pub and probably only seen a Glenfiddich behind a bar, and you wouldn't have been disappointed. I don't think you would have been disappointed.
No, it's solid. It's like seeing Coca-Cola in a vending machine. You like
exactly.
That? Cool.
Exactly.
There we go.
But at the same time, it doesn't blow you away.
What has blown you away?
You.
Hey.
You.
That's right. That's the answer I was looking for.
I thought that was a lovely place to end that segment.
I agree.
You're listening to Whisky and Things. These British people talk funny.
Should we chat to some people now, Dave, and see what notes they have?
I think we should. Danny, what did you think of the Glenfiddich 15?
That was nice, yeah. It's very middle of the road, I think. Like, it's not doing anything special. It's not doing anything bad. I mean, I like it, but it's to me, it's like an Auchentoshan or a Highland Park, it's more expensive than them. So I would choose one of the other two.
I thought you'd say that.
Has some nice orangey stuff going in. It's a nice little fruit cake on the way out. On the way. Nice one. Enjoyed it. I'd have it again, but not in a hurry. Like.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you for your honest opinion. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Let's have Jeff on. The Jeffster.
All right, guys.
So thank you for your Vimto note earlier.
Yeah, good note.
Absolutely great note. Anything else popping out for you on this one?
Well, no, it's quite a nice one. It's the middle of the road. I think that's a fair comment. That's like, it's nothing. It's not going to blow you away.
It's safe, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a friendly handshake. Like, it's nice, but it's not wild.
Yeah, you're getting the what you want from a whiskey, aren't you? Yeah, you've turned up in a bar in the middle of nowhere and you're like, oh my God, this could be awful. And they've got this. You're going to be like, okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, it's you can see why it's in a lot of bars and that. Like, it's the same with like 12. It's friendly, it's welcoming. It's kind of, this one's a bit more tarty, I think.
The whiskey god said that, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
It's kind of waxy as well in the taste, I thought. The kind of...
waxy.
Have you ever tried eating like waxed fruit, or is that just me? The fruit that's not actual fruit, it looks like it, and then
isn't that marzipan? I always thought that was marzipan fruit.
You can get like marzipan fruits as well, and they've got that weird kind of like oily texture, but yeah, it's not bad at all. I'm not complaining.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing those notes with us, Jeff.
Hello,
Welcome, Ben. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I got on the palate a bit of burnt caramel, sort of creamy fudge almost. You know the flavoured fudges you get that are just sort of...
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, vanilla fudge.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yes. No, I know what you mean.
I get you.
And the waxing is actually good, so that coating of the mouth I quite appreciate it as well. And it's a surprisingly long finish too. That's quite nice.
Ben, thanks very much for joining us there.
Cheers,
some great notes there. Thanks very much.
A pleasure. Thanks very much, guys.
Right, I want to get Kitty on. Feel like with the ginger note, we need another redhead.
Hello.
Hey, Kitty.
I didn't get a lot of ginger, but I did get like a sticky toffee pudding, but really specifically by campfire.
The tin sticky toffee puddings.
Yes.
I can see that. So it was a bit smoky for you.
It was, but this is like the second whiskey I've tried, and this is much smoother than the Macmira that I tried the other week.
Oh, okay.
And I can definitely drink this one easier. So
Macmira was your first whiskey?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, thank you for that. That's a lovely note there.
Fantastic.
Cheers, Kitty. Darren, do you have any thoughts on the Glenfiddich 15?
It's smelling quite a lot of vanilla and caramel to it. I do a lot of camping sort of woods and things, and waking up surrounded by herbs and things after it's been raining all night. I was getting quite a lot of that from the smell.
Yes. That's the second camping reference we've had in 2, Nick.
Yes.
Does it remind you of camping?
No, it didn't.
Thanks, Darren. Trying to get Nick reminiscing. I think we should get Paul on. Big bro Paul.
Big bro Paul.
Hello, guys.
Hello,
brother.
brother.
How you doing, Paul?
Doing very well. How are you?
You actually sound hungover. Are you hungover?
No, I don't really drink anymore, Dave, to be fair. So this is a bit of a treat for me.
And was it a treat?
It was not too bad, actually. I certainly got like blackcurrant or blackberries first up.
Yeah.
But someone mentioned banana, and then suddenly I got some banana.
Paul, last time we did Jameson's, and you said it tasted like Auntie Carol's tiramisu.
Yeah.
What Boxing Day pudding did this remind you of?
Good question. Probably had a bit of mince pie in there.
Ah.
Most probably from Sainsbury's.
Okay, mince pies.
Only because I was getting the currants coming through, definitely.
Paul, we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Paul.
This is the Whiskey God, reminding you to please always drink responsibly.
I want to see a Mars t-shirt because it's the only one I've seen. Look at that t-shirt.
I am Glenlivid, which you can get on our Zazzle store.
Yes.
Hello.
Designed that t-shirt. I don't even have one myself. But so there you go.
So Amar, you obviously, for various reasons, well, not various reasons, you're a Muslim, so you can't drink alcohol. And yet you still follow our podcast, which is amazing. Thank you very much and support us. But so we sent you some whiskey. What have you decided to do with it?
Well, I basically had the idea, like, basically during the Zoom call, and I kind of realized I could just make a cake out of it. So currently in the oven is a whiskey-based pound cake, and I'm just waiting for it to bake now.
Amazing.
Because you made pound cake before, does it smell any different? Are you getting anything? Obviously, I'm not going to ask you for tasting notes yet. It's still cooking.
I can sort of smell the whiskey. Like, just like I'm not really good when it comes to the smelling notes, but I can smell like the alcohol for a bit. I don't know if that's going to cook off or not since I put an entire bottle in it. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, it's a double shot. So
it's a double,
it's not too much. But thanks for sharing. So let us know how that pound cake turns out. If you think, do you know what, for religious reasons, I'm not going to eat this cake. I am down the road, Amar. Just down the road, just saying. But yeah, thanks very much for your support. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Really appreciate it.
You're listening to the Whisky and Things podcast.
Hello, Lou. How you doing?
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for joining us. You had an interesting note within the chat, which I'd like you to talk about. TCP with a honey tinge.
Yeah, that was the smell I was getting from it.
Right. Oh, that was on the nose. Right.
Yeah, but I still got the honey flavour from the taste, and like creamy fudge.
Creamy fudge. Yeah. Who else said that? Ben Atfield said that. Yeah.
It was kind of like Werther's original taste as well.
Oh yes, that's bang on, isn't it? Now you said that. Vimto on the nose, Werther's original in the mouth. It's like a trip to your grandparents, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
This is great. Some sticky toffee pudding afterwards. Beautiful. Yeah, thanks, Lou.
Nice one.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard, are you up for having a chat? Amazing. We're going all the way to Oregon. Sure. What do you think about this whiskey? You had an interesting note as well.
Tasted a little bit of honey there, kind of thick as it goes in. It was very drinkable, and then the finish is, that little bit of spice that comes back, which was very nice. I like that. Very drinkable. And then the other thing on the smell. So I'm sure, I think you mentioned it, Dave, Christmas cake, which is a common thing. But for me, it was the fruit cake that my mother used to make, and she used to make it without eggs because she was allergic to eggs. Right. So she made this particular fruit cake that you made, and you put a load of lard and a load of brown sugar in it to make it work because there was no eggs in it. And it just took me back to that. And she did not put whiskey in it. I know that because I've made it before now.
That sounds like a good recipe. That sounds like something I would like to have.
Nice.
Thanks very much for coming on. So, Andy, you had a really great note about this whiskey, which I really enjoyed because actually I was reminded yesterday of a photo of not cowpole, but the yellow fluorescent medicine that you used to get as a kid that I think was supposed to be banana flavour, right?
Yeah. And
I love this stuff.
My initial smell was on the nose was initially that smell of in the morning, the musty kind of damp smell in the woods. So I kind of got that. And then I was like, banana fudge. And then I was like, no, hang on a minute. It's that kind of banana penicillin medicine, that one that always looked radioactive in the fridge, the kind of thing your parents would never normally give you because the doctor did. It was all fair play and all good. And as soon as I got that taste, I found it difficult to shrug that off.
It's funny because my glass is pretty much empty now. And now when I'm smelling, I'm definitely getting foam bananas, the foam banana sweets, and I think that's definitely coming in now. But anyway, happy birthday, Andy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Lovely way to end my birthday weekend.
Thanks for spending it with us. Appreciate that.
Happy birthday.
Brian, good to see you. How you doing?
Hey, Brian.
What do you think of this whiskey then?
Definitely the Christmas cake.
Okay,
You know when you put too much cordial or too much Ribena in, and it's just too strong, you think, that's not right. So you try to water it down a bit. It was like halfway between nice fruit and watered down fruit.
That was awesome, Brian. Thank you.
Cheers, Brian. Thanks for joining us. Kate, what did you think of the Glenfiddich?
I think it wasn't anything special. Like, it was nice. I could drink it. I mean, admittedly, after like a year of listening to you guys, I still don't really know what I'm talking about. Like, just in terms of flavours, like Christmas cake, definitely a thing I was getting. Other than that, most of what you guys were saying, like, okay, if you say so. But like, I wouldn't buy a bottle of it, but if someone gave it to me, I wouldn't say no, take it away.
Yeah, it's a good gifting one. You'd be able to find it like in a rush if you're heading to somebody's house.
Yeah, if you were coming back on duty free and you were like, oh God, I haven't got someone a present, and you saw this on the side and it was going.
Yeah.
For sure. Hello, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
How you doing? Did you have any specific notes for the Glenfiddich 15?
Kind of like almost like an orangey marmalade kind of like, but like smoky kind of marmalade orangey kind of, yeah.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jen.
You're listening to Whisky and Things, Potter.
Tony Michael, you up for joining us?
How you doing?
Tony, what did you think of this whiskey?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's like a fence set of whiskey. It's like not amazing. It's not disgusting, but it's when I go to a pub, I always ask for a whiskey, and I always tell the barmaid to just surprise me. And if I got that, I would not be upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I thought at first, well, it's all right, but then 20 minutes later, I demolished the whole thing. So
yeah. As I've gone on, I'm enjoying it more and more. I think I may have been a bit harsh. I think it's probably just the price tag.
What I like about this is like, because it's going to be everywhere, I'm not a big fan of Johnny Walker. But this might be alongside Johnny Walker. So I would probably, now I know this is this, I'll be like, you know what, I'll have a Glenfiddich. It's a nice solid option, probably everywhere.
This Glenfiddich is much better than it's better than the Johnny Walker Blue.
I'd rather drink this than Johnny Walker, but with the price tag.
Yeah, but Johnny Walker Blue is really expensive, and I actually prefer this to Johnny Walker Blue.
Me too.
So actually, maybe we're a little bit harsh on it earlier in that regard, but alas. That's
I think because it says, because you got the whole Solera thing, it's a 15. You kind of, your expectations are so much higher.
Yeah, that's right.
And when it's kind of, it's nice, it's fine, it does its job exactly the way it's meant to. But I think because of the Solera thing and it's extravagant and all that kind of thing, you're expecting something else, but you're not. It's a Speyside whiskey done very well.
I don't taste the mango Solera either.
No?
No, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's bad market. That's bad. It's false advertising, isn't it? On the bottle. Don't call it a Solera if it doesn't taste of a Solero. Anyway, thanks, Tony. Thanks for those thoughts.
Thanks, Tony.
Appreciate that. Whiskey? Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you. Yourself?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for joining us once again.
How did you find it, Dan?
Yeah, it's really nice. I've had the 12 a couple of times, and I've always found that one a bit more mellow compared to this after tasting it. And I completely agree with all the tasting notes and everything and nosing, but I could have sworn I was smelling it from a distance, and I think I was picking up something just very slightly floral that might have either been disguised as almonds or something, along with the spice and the sweetness. But that's just me. But again, just
floral.
Just something that might have been vanilla, or I don't know. It was just something weird at a distance that I couldn't quite make out.
Well, in some other tasting notes, when I was looking stuff up, heather was coming up in some tasting notes, so maybe that.
But yeah, it's really spicy, but I would probably say sort of like it does remind me a bit of a bourbon because it just has that little bit of bite to it.
It's a bit sweet too.
Yeah,
nice,
excellent. And for those of you who may remember, Dan makes he works at a bar and a bar that does cocktails, very good cocktails. And based on this whiskey, having tried it now, what would you think would be a good cocktail with this whiskey?
Right off the top of my head, as soon as you started mentioning that, I was thinking I would probably put this with something a bit more fruit to it, or something like dried fruits, just sort of like bring out that cakey flavour of it, or something like apricot liqueur. And maybe just a couple of other bits, and maybe something just a little bit sour, just to sort of like give it a bit more edge. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I think it would have to be something unique for me.
This is in Dave Broom's book, which was for those of you who watched Nick and I get drunk on Jack Daniels. Was we were trying the coconut water, the ginger ale, or the other two, cola,
that scientific experiment
water.
we did
and the same. He does the same thing with Glenfiddich 15 in the book. There was no 4 stars. They were all 3 stars at most.
Oh wow!
So,
okay,
which would suggest that maybe this isn't the best one to mix, or it's slightly harder to really put it within a cocktail. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
hard to complement the flavours.
Thank you all very much for joining us this week. I've no idea what's coming next week because we haven't probably planned it at this stage of recording. But we hope you've enjoyed being with us for the last couple of hours. Those of you who are in the live studio audience, and if you've been listening at home, I hope you've enjoyed what Nick has managed to edit from this. Now we're into the 2.5 hour mark we're coming up to, Nick. So you've got a lot of work on this one.
Oh dear, yeah.
So enjoy that.
Quality content, though. Thank you very much.
Yeah, loads of great
quality
stuff.
Content.
So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your continued support. And that goes to anyone who's listening as well. Thank you for listening. But if you want to be involved,
thank you, Dave, for a great year, by the way. So congratulations
cheers,
again,
buddy. Thank you. Surprised you still want to do it after a year. To be honest, year of putting up with me.
Me too, to be honest, but it's fun. It's fun. So well done.
Yeah. Looking forward to many adventures coming up, I hope.
Oh, there will be. There's going to be so many once we can get out. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's been a fun year. So again, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you patrons for coming today. We'll carry on going as long as you guys still like it.
We will carry on going. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you all very, very much. And thank you, Robbie. Big shout out to Robbie Coles. Robbie the man. Robbie. Thanks for joining us. Great songs. Good luck with the rest of the Ranganation. And we'll hopefully be able to do something in the flesh soon, Robbie.
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
But anyway, I think it's time for us to sign out. So cheers.
Yeah,
Thanks
for coming. I'm going to edit that so smoothly.
Whisky and Things has been brought to you by And Things Productions.
Who do they think they are? Oprah? Stephen Colbert? Graham Norton? Colin Farrell? I don't know.
Colin Farrell! Amazing.